Dear students, welcome back to Signals and System online video lecture series. In this class, I am going to talk about the very important topic, that is trigonometric Fourier series. From this topic, we can expect the one long answer question directly in the external examination, that is university examination. So, there are only the two topics from which we can expect the long answer questions in the university examination from the unit 2, in which the first one is orthogonality between the signals, and the second one is trigonometric Fourier series of the given two signals. Here we are going to talk about the trigonometric Fourier series. Generally, Fourier series is nothing but it is an infinite sum of trigonometric functions. In the starting introduction of the second unit, I have explained that a Fourier series is an infinite sum of trigonometric functions that are used to model real valued periodic functions. Here the point is very clear. Fourier series can be used to describe, can be used to model periodic functions. Periodic functions means the signal which will repeats after the particular duration of time itself, then that signal or the function is named as it is a periodic function. That periodic functions can be modeled, that periodic signals can be modeled by making use of the Fourier series. And the Fourier series is nothing but it is an infinite sum of trigonometric functions. That means a Fourier series can be used to write a function as a trigonometric polynomial. Fourier series can be used to write a periodic function as the trigonometric polynomials. So, in this class, I am going to explain the trigonometric Fourier series and some of the important derivation I am going to explain. After that, I am going to talk about the one particular problem based on the trigonometric Fourier series. We know that we have the from the vectors and signals we have studied that f of t, if f of t and x of t both are the signals, if both the two signals are orthogonal to each other, we have the formula is that f of t is equals to, we have the formula is that f of t is equals to c into x of t plus e of t, where f of t and x of t both are the continuous time signals. Due to the projection of f of t, it is going to define one component along x of t, that is c, along the x of t, and again it is going to define the one more signal, that is error signal e of t. Let's assume that here error signal is 0, so that we can have f of t is equals to c into x of t. We have discussed this derivation in the previous classes. So now we have the f of t, now we have the f of t and x of t, and the angle between them is less than 90 degrees, so that we can have the equation is that f of t is equals to c into x of t. If the angle between them is less than 90 degrees. If angle between them is, if f of t and x of t, the angle between them is 90 degrees, then c will be 0, so that the no component will be projected by the one signal along another signal. Here the case is that in the orthogonal signal space, we have discussed that we have the n number of signals such as x1 of t, x2 of t, x3 of t and up to xn of t. And all these signals are orthogonal to each other, so that they can form the n-dimensional signal space, in which we can represent f of t, so that f of t can be orthogonal to the can be orthogonal to the x1 of t, x2 of t, x3 of t. If f of t is not orthogonal, if f of t is not orthogonal to the x1 of t, x2 of t up to xn of t, then we can have the relation f of t is equals to c1 x1 of t. C1 is nothing but component along the x1 of t due to the f of t. C plus c2 x2 of t. C2 is nothing but component along x2 of t due to the f of t. Likewise, we can have the signals like cn into xn of t. So mathematically we can represent this equation as sigma n is equals to f of t is equals to, I can write f of t is equals to sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity, we can write, and sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity, and up to cn we have, so that I can write cn into xn of t. So this is the representation of Fourier series. Now we can call this is the generalized Fourier series. This equation is called as generalized Fourier series. We can call this equation as generalized Fourier series. That means what? This expression, if we expand this expression, it is in the form of a series, so that this is nothing but it is a generalized Fourier series. But we have to go for the trigonometric Fourier series. Trigonometric Fourier series is nothing but, here we are going to have the Fourier series in terms of trigonometric polynomials. It is generalized Fourier series. So here the point is clear. F of t can be expressed in the form of c1 and x1 of t, and x of t is the one particular signal, f of t is another particular signal. Both are having the some angle between them, that is less than 90 degrees, so that we can have this equation. Here we can have x1 of t, x2 of t, up to xn of t. It is nothing but it is a signal set in which all the signals are mutually perpendicular to each other. So now this equation we can call as, it is generalized Fourier series. It is generalized Fourier series. Let assume that we have a signal set. We have the signal set that is, for example, I can call that signal set is yes. I have a signal set that is 1, cos n omega naught t, cos 2n omega naught t, cos 3n omega naught t, and so on. Last one, what we can have? Cos n omega naught. We can have last signal will be cos n omega naught t. Cos, we can have this is cos, we can have it is cos 1 omega naught t, and this is cos 2 omega naught t, cos 3 omega naught t, and it is cos n omega naught t. In this set only we have the sine functions also, sin 1 omega naught t, cos 2 omega naught t, and so on. We can have this last one is, we can have this is sin n omega naught t, and next one is a sin 2 omega naught t, and the last one we can have the sin n omega naught t. So this is a set I have. I am saying that all these signals, this is one signal, second or third, like that, it is having the n number of signals, and all these signals we are calling it is a set. In this set, each and every signal is mutually perpendicular to other signal. That means what? All the signals are mutually perpendicular to each other. Then that case we can call it is the orthogonal signal space. In the previous class we have studied, if in the signal set all the signals are mutually perpendicular to each other, we can call it is a orthogonal signal space. We can call it is a signal space. And based on this one we have solved one problem also. We have proved cos n omega naught t and cos m omega naught t both are the orthogonal to each other. So that if you take any two signals in this set, if you take any two signals in this set, and the that given set, that signals will be orthogonal to each other, that means we can prove that theta is equals to 90 degrees, that is c is equals to 0, that integral t1 to t2 f of t into x of t dt is equals to 0, we can prove. That means what? We have the signal set, that signal set 1 cos omega naught t, cos 2 omega naught t, cos 3 omega naught t up to cos n omega naught t, and followed by sine functions also, sine 1 omega naught t, sine 2 omega naught t, sine n omega naught t. We are saying that all these signals are orthogonal to each other. That means what? In this signal set we are having the various signals, so that we can call this is x1 of t, and we can call this is x2 of t, we can call this is x3 of t, and up to how many signals we have the n number of signals, so that we can represent. Here we are having the x1 of t, x2 of t, x3 of t, x4 of t, up to xn of t, we have the signals. So now in these signals, in the signal set, all the signals are mutually perpendicular to each other, so that we can have the orthogonality over the time, that is t naught. Here omega naught is nothing but the fundamental frequency, and n omega naught is called as nth harmonic. Here the point is very clear, that is omega naught is nothing but it is a fundamental frequency, we can call it is fundamental frequency. Omega naught is a fundamental frequency, and n omega naught is nothing but it is the nth harmonic. So there is a DC component of cos n omega naught t at n is equals to 0, so that we can have cos 0 omega naught t. That means what? Here we can represent, this is what? Cos n, this is what? Cos 1 omega naught t. This 1 I can write cos, in place of n I can write cos 0 omega naught t. Cos 0 is nothing but it will be 1 only, so that we have represented this is 1. So here DC component of cos n omega naught t at n is equals to 0, that is cos 0 omega naught t is equals to 1. This signal set consists of sine and cosine term. This signal set is consisting of sine and cosine terms, hence it is called trigonometric signal set. So why we are using this trigonometric signal set? We are going to represent the Fourier series in terms of, we are going to represent this Fourier series in terms of trigonometric functions. So now this set is called as trigonometric signal set. Now we have to go with the trigonometric Fourier series. Now we have to achieve this one by making use of the equation 1, that is f of t is equals to, we can have f of t is equals to c1 into x1 of t plus c2 into x2 of t, and so on, cn into cn into xn of t, so that we can write, now we can write this equation as f of t is equals to, I am going to elaborate this one. F of t is equals to, from this equation I can write f of t is equals to a naught plus a1 into cos omega naught t plus a2 cos 2 omega naught t plus, and so on, plus if you go with the sine terms, we can write b1 sine omega naught t plus b2 sine 2 omega naught t, and so on. We can have this one. That means what? We are elaborating f of t is equals to, first one substitute n is equals to 0, that means c0, that is 0 only, and you can take xn of t, that is c0 is nothing but we can have this is xn of we can x0 of t, that is nothing but this one only, that is that cos 0 will be 1 only, we can write that is a naught. We can represent the equation that is a like this, that is a naught plus a1 cos omega naught t plus a2 cos 2 omega naught t plus and so on, and b1 sin omega naught t plus b2 sin 2 omega naught t and so on. So that we can write this equation as what? F of t is equals to, we can write a naught plus, and in this we have the cos term, so that I can write this one is sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity. We have here up to infinity terms are there, and this term is nothing but an into cos n omega naught, cos n omega naught t. Then this part is completed. Then next one is what? Sigma n is equals to, sigma n is equals to, we can have sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity bn sin n omega naught t. This is nothing but, it is nothing but so now this is the generalized Fourier series, and now this is also the Fourier series, but this Fourier series is represented with sine and cosine term, so that this Fourier series is called as it is a trigonometric Fourier series. Earlier in f of t there are no sine and cos terms. Now we have represented the Fourier series, that is f of t only with respect to the sine and cosine terms, so that this form is called as trigonometric Fourier series. We can call it is TFS. Trigonometric Fourier series, we have represented f of t, that is in the form of generalized one. F of t is equals sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity Cn into axn of t. Now we have defined one signal space with the trigonometric functions sine and cosine, and all these functions are perpendicular to each other, that are orthogonal functions in which we are representing f of t, so that then in that case f of t is nothing but a naught plus sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity an into cos n omega naught t plus sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity bn sin n omega naught t. If you know a naught, an and bn, a naught, if you know a naught, an and bn, if I derive the expression for a naught, if I derive the expression for an, if I derive the expression for bn, by substituting that one I can get the trigonometric Fourier series, that is f of t. So to have the trigonometric Fourier series in terms of cos and sine, first we require to obtain what is a naught is, what is an is. Next one is what is an is. We have to obtain an, and we have to obtain and bn also. If you have all these things, that is a naught, an and bn, by substituting those values, that by substituting those equation into this standard form of trigonometric equation, we can have the trigonometric Fourier series. So by going through some of the few derivations, we can get the an is equals to, we can get the an is equals to, generally standard formula to go for the an, we can have like this. An is, we can have an is equals to integral t1 to t1 plus t naught f of t into, we are going with cos function now, cos n omega naught t by dt by integral t1 to t1 plus t naught into cos square n omega naught t. This is, we know the function by and bn is equals to what? We can write integral same, f of t remains same, in place of cos we can take the sine function, that is sin n omega naught t dt by integral t1 to t2, that is sine square omega naught t, sine square n omega naught t dt. By deriving these expressions, we can have the following equations for the a naught, an and bn. Then I am going with the first equation, that is a naught. Now I am going with the a naught. I can have the a naught is like this. Sorry, I can go with the an. An is equals to, I can have 2 by t naught. 2 by t naught. T naught is a time period. Integral T2 T plus T naught, T2 T plus T naught, that is a capital T naught, this is time period only, into f of t into cos n omega naught t dt. This is what it is an. And similar to this one bn, what we can expect? 2 by t naught we can have integral we can have the bn also, bn integral t1 to t2 t plus t naught, and f of t remains same, and it will be sin n omega naught t dt. an and bn we got. Now we have to go with the a naught. Simply replace an in place of n we can have the 0, so that a naught is equals to 2 by t naught we can write, integral same t2 t plus t naught we can write, f of t into cos, this one is what, and we are keeping n is equals to 0 now, cos 0 will be 1 only, so that it will be like this. So that by using this equation we can determine the an, by using this equation we can determine bn, by using this equation we can determine the a naught. After knowing the an, bn and a naught, we can simply write the Fourier series, trigonometric Fourier series, that is like this. We can have that one is f of t is equals to, what is the formula we have? F of t is equals to a naught, because we have a naught here, plus sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity, then an we have derived the an by making use of this equation. We can calculate an into the an into cos n omega naught t plus sigma n is equals to 1 to infinity bn. By using this equation we can determine what is bn is bn into sin n omega naught t, and like this we have to go with the trigonometric Fourier series. Anyway, whatever I shared the video, whatever I shared the video, in that video I have derived the expression for an, bn and a naught, and this is very very important. And a naught we can calculate by this equation, bn we can calculate by this equation, and an also we can calculate by this equation. After knowing the expression, after knowing the final values for an, bn and a naught, we can substitute, and so that will be the required the Fourier series. So this expression, the above Fourier series given above, is called as trigonometric Fourier series or quadrature Fourier series. This is very very important. The derivation is not that much important, but the problems we are going to solve this in this trigonometric Fourier series is very very important in the for the external examination point of view. From the second unit we can expect the two long answer questions from the two topics. One is orthogonality of the signals, and second one is trigonometric Fourier series only. In next class I am going to solve the one problem based on the trigonometric Fourier series. Thank you, students.